All right, let's get into the Dark Dawn and the impeachment season and the Snow White, which connects you to the White Horse Rider, and the 7 dwarfs, and connected to the 7 heads of the dragon that hold the 10 horns, and you're going into the darkness and the dark forest and all those things. Okay, so as we have been programmed with the Cartoon Space Monkey platform, I'm also, and Walt Disney helped bring you your NASA and such, but I'm gonna be bringing in the Robin Hood story with the fox and the lion, and we see Maid Marian as a fox too, but that fox equals the 666 in your little gematria, where the letters are numbers. And so these things tell a story, because the lion connects you to the one behind the castle, and the lion connects you to the king and the tribe of Judah. It also connects you to the devil, and and the sharp demon teeth. The Little John, King John, and Little John is a bear. So that bear is connected to the foot of the bear and the arm, and the right to bear arms. And so as I've told you some things in the past, and we've seen these things happen in some flip-flop fashions, and or over here in another country and whatever else, they're starting to come into America as we're on the second coming of Adonai, who is the Lord, who comes as Satan and comes and numbers the people as the Lord does and Satan does, as in your book, and in your little Bible for your times of that mystery Babylon. And so the fox is tunneling under in different ways, and there's 2 foxes, and this ties into your Samson and the corn, and tying the 2 tails together and whatever else. The Michelle Obama running for the next presidency, she could get Barack Obama as her vice president to run, and those types of things would be another level. But if they take the impeachment, right, and then that's also the 25th Amendment, or whatever they're bringing up. So the 25th Amendment, the 25 on 9/11 coming up. Trump is a bad dawn of Revelation 9/11, the 45, 47. And then you have Michael in there for the war in heaven, or Michelle for the war in heaven. And if Trump's taken out, that's where you see, as far as the impeachment, oh yeah, the 25 on 9/11, then it's 250 on 7/4, which is the 47 on the backside, the 250 crowning, and then you're in that 11th hour and those types of things. So as you're taken into the future in 2020, right, and then taken back. This is where Trump is taking you into the future spiritually in a way, and then taken back. All right, and it's going with the money and taking into the crypt, and that's the G's, us, and your mark to buy and sell, and that dollar bill, that Washington being put to rest, that petrodollar system. So as the money laundry comes for the 28, the 280 axing and those types of things, this one, your White Horse Rider, your purity, and the millionaires and billionaires in this economies and such, is a sign of a weak dollar and poor economy. So this is when they when everything gets redone, then they have to reevaluate the currency. So this is when they take it all back, and then everything goes back to 0. Okay, and that's a crowning for either your Satan arise or your Jesus. Okay, but the Dark Dawn can be happening in multiples of ways, but if they decide to take him out, as far as with the impeachment process, or they take them out. However else, the Butler and Baker edition and whatever else. The J.D. Vance or the Michael Johnson, and we saw the 8 dead or whatever was mentioned in the LA, the Louisiana, and that the Louisiana is also tied to your King Louis and your OG, and it's also tied into your loo, the bathroom, the crapture, and those things. So to shorten the game, they bring the 48 J.D. Vance, or they impeach both. They kind of go with each other kind of thing. And then Michael, the speaker 119, the 911 on the backside comes in. And what's going to be happening, I see, is Trump is setting up an out of the New World Order in a way, as he's setting up a New World Order. And the petrodollar system is the capitalistic, satanic control arm of the New World Order that's built up, right? So as this New World Order's here, those are the old world, and are scared of the New World, are bump. All right, so, and that's part of that neck and that kind of thing, and that's where they can never go up anymore. And the oil has risen up so much and has brought them down, and those things. So. And then the oil doesn't mix with water, and Jesus brings the water, and they don't follow the man with the pitcher of water. The water's the currency, and they're already left out on the currency and all those other things. So that's tied to your flood for your Noah and the 8. And either way, so this is where the NWO, the Christian nationalism, all these things, Don's setting up lights, and as he's setting up lights, the people are going to the old one in a way, and they're being turned off by the new one. So it's all working according to what we're being shown. And then they're having their oh shit moment. I told you it would be coming for the second coming. And then the replacement, I see J.D. Vance, the No Kings, J.D. Vance and that stuff. So that's your junior varsity years, your freshman. And that's where you got your Antichrist stacks, where you have a person coming in out of nowhere and then out of nowhere. And then the replacement, if J.D. Vance is going to be the NKJV dude, and then you can have him set it up here, and then you can have the other still, if they decide to impeach him too, and then the other person comes in, and it just works it into where that Petro NWO system all comes in for the capture and those things. But if for the shortening of days, and for the elect's sake, and the sake for the Japan shake today, and you got your sake bombs with your Jägermeister. I think that's what goes in it. It's been decades since I've had one of them. Either way, folks, that's the rice wine, the ice wine, the ice wine, and those types of things is playing out. And the wines, the rape juice for the narcissism going on, the Nazism in America, where, well, that's a whole nother video we'll get into. So when you take these people out and they come in on nowhere, it fills that role of that Antichrist, where he just comes out of nowhere, not voted in, and whatever else, right? So that's where you get these little stacks, and that's where you can get, where you can see it also long term, where J.D. Vance comes in and does this, and then Michelle Obama comes in as the real black woman per se, and then the real darky, and then you have the dark son, the Obama with it, and then so you have her, she'd be taken out, and then he comes in and sets up that New World Order structure or whatever as that Black Widow and those kinds of things. And the Black Widow is the Black Window. And so either way, folks, we are in these time frames, and then Trump has already mentioned the 50 and the 51 for the Greenland and such. And then the Cuba, that's also part of the foot of the bear, and I see that as like a preserved 1950s kind of thing, but it's going to be a futuristic 1950s in a way or whatever. And now we're starting to see, well, that's another thing too. That's a weather video, folks. The King Donald John Trump. We're in the John right now, the middle time frame, and then you'll have the last Trump coming on, all right? You've had the trumpet sound, the trumpet sound, the Trump ET sound, the Trump piss sound, all these Trumps. There's 4 revelations, or I'm sorry, in the book of Revelation, there are 4 tribulations, times 7, 28, okay? You're in it now. You've had the millennial generation been born. The millennium is here. The alpha generation has been born. Jesus comes in the alpha through omega generation, looking through the time and the generations. We can see this time of so-called Jesus, the alpha through the omega, and the omegas, and those kinds of things is lining up. But and that's also the aggem, and learning how to eat the terroir and the quantum state of plants and energies and downloads and all this other shit we're gonna get into even more. But the peach season is when you take a bite of that peach, you go to sleep, you wake up, and Prince Charming's there, and he's a fucking frog and all this other stuff, okay? And it makes the frogs gay! That's just one chemical that does it. Soy, estrogen. You wonder why there's more girls being born? And all the boys seem, hi. Well, it's just gonna peter itself out. All right, and they told you to stay away from them needle drugs. And you've all been going to your doctor, doing them drugs, and you're gonna find out what y'all been doing to yourself out there in them streets, per se, and that's them trick and treats. It's gonna be loading up as your Satan, Halloween, Christmas. All these things overlap, and you're in that time frame with the 25 on 9/11. For your Christmas spirit, your Xmas spirit, Christ X. So simple, few's gonna find it. Because you can only repeat what you've been taught in the cage. And then you have Newsom, that's part of the baker, the rope. He is talking about keeping, well, we'll just keep our money. And it's 4 sides economy, so this is a mark in the foreheads, spiritually speaking, with that, the new heaven and earth setting up, going into the future. And then you're taken back. This is where you're going with your money and those types of things. All right, you did it in a carnal aspect. Now you're doing it in a spiritual aspect. And then you get your boom boom together, okay? Just like we told you, for your 26 on Alpha, 24 on 9/11, all these clocks, you got your 47, which is the 11th hour, chapter bankruptcy 11, all those kinds of things, okay? And this is when you just lose all your shit. You just start going fucking berserk. All right, that berserk is that business, and the ark for your going into the 8 for the 8th year in the woman clothed in the sun, which is now up to the 8th year woman clothed in the sun with the corona. And then you have the 8 years until that's fucking finished. And then you have Trump at 82 on 2028, which is a flip on the 85, up to him being 88 and 2034. So all these time sequences, all right, time's flying by at the moment. Y'all are all gonna be taken into the dark sun, per se, and into that projection, and in that movie. Where do we land? be some going on that mushroom trip. Told you about the mushroom effect coming. Now he's doing the psychedelics with that Joe Rogan, that T-Rogan. Trojan got the balls up right now, or whatever the show was. Pretty funny. Either way, and then you have all this shit happening, right? And then you have what was that show where San Antonio Saviors? Oh, him. And you got him out with the fucking losing weight shit, and seeing him in the clouds. And either way, folks, I know people right now, if they are reading the news and paying attention and also doing entertainment and whatever else, I know they are, where are we? So they're thinking about what they took. They're thinking about, that's why they're talking about, hey, why does the astronaut have 3 legs? And why, okay, they're letting you know. They're having the mainstream, that one that goes into Eden, that breaks up into 4, the 4 heads, all right? Where's this place on earth? No rivers run on earth like this, because it's a fucking spiritual book. Huh? Doesn't exist. Exists in here. So they're doing those kinds of lights, and then there's Tucker Carlson, Tucker, the transitional phase. Is he the Antichrist? He sure seems like the Antichrist. So I've broken it all down for you. You just got to go back and listen. The more you listen, the more it makes sense. And all 1,000 points of light in all fucking directions, just so you can understand. Because your church, they're singing the old song. And we're after the tribulation. And after the tribulation, there's people that come to you with a new song. And I am singing that new song for you. So you understand where you're at, so you're not left behind. Because the rapture ain't coming the way that they teach you. And Jesus went into heaven, which is in you. So he's going to come in you, and this is where that stage, that image has been given life, has already manifested in you. You've already gone and changed the damn messaging system for the light in the body. How will you ever hear? It won't happen, because they have taken the truth and grace from you, which is the Jesus, and they have used it against you, so that if you can see and if you can hear, you cannot. And that knot is being loosened now for the Baker session. And you can read about your Butler and Baker session in your little storybook called the Bible. Okay? So, ready thyself, because you're being taken into the 3D and 4D vision. And those red eyes, those clear eyes, those nuclear visions for those mushroom effects, that fungi, the Jesus that's coming.